Am I the asshole for telling small children who ask about my prosthetic leg that I'm a robot? I, 17 female, have a prosthetic leg. I was in public today when a small girl, maybe 5, asked me what happened to my leg. I whispered, I'm secretly a robot. Shush, don't tell anyone. Her eyes went real wide and she whispered back, okay, and scurried back to her mom. I always get a kick out of little kids' reactions, but then the lady standing behind me told me that I shouldn't lie to children like that and instead teach them acceptance and body positivity. I told her it's great to teach children that, but I just like to get a laugh when I can. I only do this sometimes when kids ask. It's really funny to see their reactions. Am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. One day that girl is going to know the real story and smile about robot lady. Her mother can teach her about the facts.
You are the asshole. You're a cyborg, not a robot. If you're going to tell stories, tell the right ones.
Not the asshole. It's not your responsibility to teach anybody's children anything. And I've seen enough posts here to know that if you told the child the truth you'd get in trouble for sharing personal and potentially gory medical information with someone who's only just old enough to use the bathroom without supervision.
Not the asshole. It's not your job to teach kids about prosthetics etc. My cousin has scars all over his legs from multiple surgeries and he always had his nieces and nephews convinced they were from fighting animals in the jungle rolling on the floor laughing.
Not the asshole. For context, when I was a teenager, one of my friends who was born without arms told a kid that his arms fell off because he didn't eat his vegetables.
Not the asshole. That lady needs a prosthetic sense of humor.
Nah. You can preach body positivity and be a cool-ass robot.
Not the asshole. That's amazing. If these people have issues with lying to children, then you can insist they be the first person to explain that Santa isn't real.
Not the asshole. And here's why. I actually met a dude who did something similar when I was like 7. I was running around with friends when I skid to a halt in front of him. See, he is on crutches and that he is missing his left leg. He is looking at me with a gentle smile. What happened to your leg, mister? Oh, it fell off and started running around this farm. I'm trying to catch it. It was like a playground farm combo in the middle of a town. I'll help you catch it. And off I ran while he shouted a laughing thank you. I still think about that interaction sometimes and smile about it. It's one of my best memories. Not the asshole. That's funny as hell. I can see the woman's perspective. This was a good opportunity for a child to learn that sometimes people have a prosthetic. But, it's not your responsibility to serve as an example of new learning for children. It is the parent's job to teach their child about differences among people. And this bystander should just mind her own business.
Not the asshole. A friend of mine needed hearing aids and of course kids at school laughed at him a lot. To turn the situation around, he told everyone those are antennas so he can get signals from the space grin.
Not the asshole. Should have just replied with, does not compute.
Not the asshole. Does this lady want kids to stop watching movies about mermaids, fairies, dinosaurs? Being able to truly believe that people are magic creatures is like one of the most fun things about being a kid. What are we supposed to rebrand Santa as a kindly body-positive man with an affinity for red outfits? Who hurt this lady? Nah, you are helping curious kids hold on to their belief in magic and mystery just a little longer. Kids get jaded soon enough. Even momentarily believing in robot people walking around could result in the next engineer or biologist or the next innovator for prosthetic limbs. 20 years from now that little girl might make your first fully functioning, average-appearing leg. So yeah, keep doing what you are doing.
Not the asshole. That's actually quite humorous.
Not the asshole. You should have kept up the act with the lady too. Maybe even buy Electrolary NX or practice a really good robot voice. Not the asshole because you're associating your difference as being something really cool. That's already a great way to teach kids acceptance and body positivity without being overly detailed about it. Not the asshole. It's okay to joke around a little.
Not the asshole. It's not your job to teach kids to be polite about people with limb differences or prosthesis. It's their parents or teachers, who have the energy or time to explain it. Not you, a stranger in a grocery store who has places to be.
Not the asshole. I suppose the know-it-all nosy woman behind you also thinks you should have told the little girl that the Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, and Santa Claus aren't real. Since that woman is so much into reality, personally, you wouldn't have been out of line to tell Ms. Nosy that you're still a juvenile and believing you're a robot, or like Iron Man, is part of your acceptance and body positivity, so she just needs to shut up and mind her own business instead of telling you how to feel or think.
Not the asshole. It's partially true after all. And what's more positive than being able to joke about your situation? If you had to seriously explain and tell to every person that asked about your leg, I'd imagine you'd lose your mind and would not be particularly positive.
Nah. Keep it up. More droid acceptance.
Not the asshole. Apparently when I was that girl's age, I saw a guy in a store with 2 artificial legs, ran up all excited and asked at the top of my lungs if he was a cyborg. My aunt said the only thing that kept it from being the most embarrassed she ever felt was the guy laughing his head off. I have no memory of this. Not the asshole. What a fun response. Finally a post where I can tell this story. When I was about 4 years old, I was picking my nose in the cheese section of the supermarket, just admiring the cheese. An older man came up to me, and told me, "Don't do that or your nose will fall off," and then proceeded to take off his prosthetic nose. Of course I screamed and started crying and my mum came running over. She found it absolutely hilarious and was almost about to pee herself from laughing. So not the asshole. You've probably made a childhood memory that will be shared at many family gatherings like mine was. I always think of that man when I pick my nose, and I'm almost 30.
Not the asshole. I like your style. I lod.
Not the asshole. I've got mile-long blue hair and it's one of my favorite things when I hear kids whisper asking their parents if I'm a mermaid. It's fun for everyone involved, no harm done.
Robots are cool. What's not positive about that? Lol, not the asshole. You are the asshole. Tell them you are a cyborg next time. Robots are artificial and don't have organic parts. You are a cyborg. You are giving false information.
Not the asshole. You frankly sound awesome.
Not the asshole. My kids would think you're some kind of superhero if you told them you're a robot. And it's my job to explain body positivity and whatnot. You're handling it great. Not the asshole. I'm an arm amputee who just got my first prosthetic and I can't wait to be able to do this, ha ha ha. I've always just said, I was born like that. Sometimes it blows up in my face. I'd much rather get that happy shocked face.
Not the asshole. Kids are curious and have zero filters, and I think every parent lives in dread of the moment their kid just blurts out an way too personal question. I'd be truly grateful to any person who answered the way you did. It's my job to teach my kid acceptance, and, shush, I'm secretly a robot. Would actually make that easier, since my kid would now associate prosthetics with being hilarious and awesome.
Not the asshole. My dog has one eye. When kids ask, I say he's a pirate. Kids won't understand the truth of his first owner beating and starving him so bad he has several not perfectly healed fractures in his legs, lost one eye and has terrible scarring on that same side. You are absolutely not in charge of explaining that sort of thing to someone else's children, and those sort of silly lies are magical to kids. That lady needs to mind her business.
Not the asshole. That essay story that little girl will be telling the rest of her life. Also, there's technically a very good argument for you being a cyborg if you wanted to make a case for it, so it's not even really a lie.
Not the asshole. My dad has a prosthetic leg. We tell our kids that he's a retired pirate.
Not the asshole. You're not a walking educational video.
No assholes here, that's funny. It's your body and you life. If you want to mess with kids, I say do it. If you ever feel inclined to educate a kid about it, you can always do that too. Edit, because my tired ass forgot to say not the asshole.
How do you teach body positivity about a bit of body that isn't there? I love my leg, it came off. Child screams, bus screams. I've had little kids come up and ask if my hair was really blue, purple, pink, etc. I have literally said to kids, shush, I'm actually a mermaid and Ariel was my friend, or I am actually a winter fi and the color of my hair lets me know if it's safe to be in the human world. Most parents have actually thanked me for these comments because it keeps the little ones happy and believing in magic just a bit longer. If the kid was like 10 or 12 I could see a more realistic comment on it, but if they are still little let them have a childhood daydream. NTA.
Instead teach them acceptance and body positivity. To be honest, Being able to joke and tease about it as a part of yourself is more accepting than she realized. NTA.
You are the asshole. Technically it doesn't makes you a robot, but a cyborg.
Not the asshole. I think this is cute. I never explained to my kids that all the princesses they saw in the park every spring were just regular ladies getting married, but they figured it out eventually.
But what about body positivity for robots? Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Sometimes you don't want to stand and explain your entire life story to a small child who you don't even know. If I explained to every child in detail why I'm in a wheelchair, I'd get nothing done and they wouldn't even understand anyway. Telling kids you're bionic is the same as telling them Santa exists. It's a harmless white lie and it gives them a bit of wonder. When they're older and can understand better is when you sit and talk to them, and even then that should be the parents' job, not ours.
Not the asshole. Kids ask intrusive questions and I think it's okay to answer with what makes you feel comfortable. I used to get flustered when kids asked about my self-harm scars, but one called them tiger stripes, so now I just say I was scratched by a tiger.
Nah.
I love this. Do you read the fantastic webcomic Questionable Content? It has some pretty awesome kick-ass robot ladies.
Not the asshole, no question. I had purple blue green hair once and a little girl asked if I was a mermaid. Her parents and I, literally first time we met and I was their waitress, winged a WJOLE story about me being a mermaid and being stuck on land for a bit, etc. What's WROMG with bringing a bit of magic and wonder into a kid's life? Heck, being a robot is way cool.